Are you surprised that Murray's taking over the captaincy?
I am. Andrew's
Are
not.
you, James? Are you?
I am. Yeah, I am. Yeah, and
who would you have then instead? So you're surprised?
This is the thing, isn't it? I'd have someone with captain credibilities in the bank. Not that I don't rate Conor Murray. I absolutely rate him. He's clearly a world-class player. Again, I'll be honest, I didn't even have him down as a nailed-on starter. So that obviously shows how much I know. I actually thought Ali Price was brilliant when he came on. I thought he was brilliant. I know it's Japan, but that being horrible to them. I know, the Lions looked very comfortable in the first half. But I didn't have him as a nailed-on starter, not because he's not good. Obviously, he's a world-class player, but I've not seen him be captain before. And I think, there's a superficial opinion around that, but I don't know him that well. I've not, I'm not on the inside. Gatland knows. Gatland makes the big decisions. And like you said, who else is there? There was obviously
let's dissect
about Matt. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, let's dissect your captaincy credentials for players, because you said you need captaincy material, so you need someone that's captained the team and history of it, and you'd rather a forward. So you name me a forward in that Lions squad that has captained international rugby and is someone that has the credentials to do it. I can only think of one potentially.
Well, that is the whole thing around it. So a Jamie George
the only two.
Or a Ken Owens. No,
Ken Owens is the only one I think that would have had captaincy experience at international level in that forward pack. But is he a nailed-on starter? I don't think so.
Well, that is the worry going into the tour then, isn't it? Because of the experience in the pack in terms of leadership and, being able to put your foot on the ball and slow it down or speed it. Like that, like we've all been in matches, haven't we, where, if you've not got the captain, you need the vice captain to step up and make them big calls. do you know what I mean? But I think that's the thing. That's why there's a mixed response around Conor Murray. It's not me saying he shouldn't be captain. You've convinced me otherwise. Like there's other people I've read, I'm like, well, actually, yeah, like I get that. But if you look at it, that is the slight worry, isn't it? That's why we all went with Alun Wyn Jones as our captain because there weren't anyone else. Like Faz, after Bigaroo's performance at the weekend, I thought he was absolutely sensational. Yeah. He's a starting 10 now. So is Farrell going to play 12? Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? See, when you're looking at international captains from the Six Nations, you've got Stuart Hogg, who can't get his club team at the minute, and I don't mean that in a mean way. But he's captain at fullback, so that doesn't fit your kind of rhetoric around it should be a forward. Is he going to be the Lions 15? Possibly. Owen Farrell's the other one that's captain England. It wasn't a very successful Six Nations, and you go back to Refgate and all that stuff against Wales and how he handled stuff. Is he going to be the starting 10? You don't know that. So for me, when you said it then, you actually said it. You sometimes need someone to put their foot on the ball, slow it down. Jim, Conor Murray's the ideal man. He's got the experience of previous Lions tours. He's the next most experienced player, I think, in the squad behind Alun Wyn Jones. He's Gatland's right hand man. I think he started all the tests in New Zealand. I'm pretty sure he did. He's got a huge amount of experience. He's a calm character. He's got control of how the team plays. That's why I think when you're looking at the squad, there isn't another standout person where you go, people are going to go, Maro Itoje, but then Maro's not captain the team yet, has he?
Jim, you mentioned Maro once.
Yeah, well, I mentioned Maro not because of his leadership credentials. I'm a complete hypocrite here. Because of the profile around the tour with him and Sia Khaleesi and a documentary being made. I have been creative.
You've got to let that go, mate.
Yeah, I have. But look, you're convincing me now about Conor Murray. He's also a 9 out of 10 good-looking bloke as well, isn't he? For someone who lives in Ireland and hasn't seen the sun, he's a good-looking man. So all these things marry up. But let's be honest, that's the worry then going in. You look at the experience of the South African team and some of the players that they've got across the ball. Across the board, is that a saying?
Across the board.
Okay, yeah, let's say across the board sounds so much better. That's where the worry is, isn't it? So I think, like Goody said, everyone wants Maro or has wanted Maro because the romance around Maro Itoje, he's a guaranteed starter. But yeah, that's the crux of it. Look, I'm happy that Conor Murray's captain. It's obviously not great for Ali Price, is it? He's fighting for one position now when you hear that. But like you said, the experience and the history that he's got, absolutely. I'm with you.
And there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before we get to the test matches. But people look at it in two different ways. And you look at this Lions squad, and I think it's really exciting the fact that right now everyone's struggling to pick a nailed on Lions 15. There's probably 5 players, I reckon, that are nailed on starters at the minute. Whereas you go back to other test tours, go back to 05, Clive Woodwork, Sir Cliff Woodwork, whatever you want to call it. He took his test team to one island. He sent the Shags to another island. The Shags had a better time than the Test boys, but he picked the Test team before the Lions tour even started, hadn't he? And he made
What a
it.
cowboy.
There we go. So I think it's actually really exciting that you're looking at this squad now and you go in, these warm-up games are going to be massive because so many people are vying for a starting slot on the test matches because there is so little to choose between some of them. You know, Bigger put his hat in the ring to be the starting 10 at the weekend. Conan, he was.
Can he not be
phenomenal at
captain?
number 8.
Can Bigger not be captain? The way that he plays, like,
Well, he's not guaranteed yet, is he?
Yeah,
could be,
he is
but then
now.
he also gets really emotional with it as well. As in, you always see, you know, people have had a bit of a pop at Dan Bigger about the way his arms go up, and he has a pop at the ref, and he's always talking. He's that ultra competitive person, isn't he? Which I think is a really good thing because it's the nature of a 10 to be that way. But sometimes maybe that's not the way you want your captain to be perceived. So, but yeah, you know, you go across the board. I thought Conan was brilliant at the weekend. And you know, people are saying maybe Falatau's definitely nailed on to be number 8. You know, there's players that are going to have so many opportunities if the tour carries on in its full capacity. We're hearing about possible changes that it's all to play for these Lions test slots. Whereas years gone by, you go in, well, we know the test team, we know probably 12 or 13 of the test team before the first game's even played. So that's why I think it's really exciting.